though hip hop began in the Bronx.
Everybody played hardcore.
Tell a story, good, the bad, and the ugly.
The black man has no shot in this business.
Let's go back into time a little bit.
I chose the name hip hop. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop.
You gotta understand, you really have to understand that the Zulu Nation had originally been the black spades.
From the beginning of the culture of hip hop.
Nobody knew that Brooklyn was doing it. We was already doing it.
Brooklyn has nothing to do with the founding of hip hop.
DJ Jones, DJ Hollywood, Plumber from Brooklyn. You had Grandmaster Flowers from Brooklyn, Monboya. You had Master D and Ron K.
In 1977, I became the first female MC of the hip-hop culture and also the first female MC to join an all-male group, and that was the Funky Four.
Everybody that started with Mario that was leaving, Theodore was with Mario, Jay was with Mario, Bam got his first sound system from Mario.
5 different elements that make hip-hop hip-hop.
But I like that sound. I said, this is hip, and when you feel that music, you gotta hop to it. So that's when we call it hip hop.
Keith Cowboy of Grandmaster Flash is one of his first MCs. Hip hop was a derogatory term referring to what we were doing.
We're online, listening to the hottest internet station. We're online, listening to the hottest internet station.
John Dew Radio.
What up, people? This is your man, Van Silk. 2018 first show, John Dew Network. When it was hip-hop, life, and lifestyle, I got my man, my Facebook Kool, my homie, my first call in the morning, dude on the phone. What up, Kool Pal?
Yo, what up, baby boy? What up, Soki? Yo, Happy New Year to all y'all around the planet who listen to When It Was Hip Hop, Life, and Lifestyles. Man, so Happy New Year, baby boy. Yo, I'm glad to be back for the brand new inaugural, our first show of the new year, son. How you feel, baby?
I'm okay. It's a little cold down here in Florida. I got on 2 hoodies.
You got 2 hoodies. Hey, yo, man, so up in New York, we got 5 hoodies, okay? We rocking 5 hoodies right about now.
Hey, yo, it's funny. When we took over this show, our first guest was Claudia Jordan. And she was like, I don't know. And then when we had Linnell on, she put us on pressure. How many listeners y'all got?
Exactly. I remember. Yeah, Linnell called us, yeah.
And then when we had Lee from SWV, my son came in the room because him and his girl had an issue.
They was fighting on the air. She had to, excuse me, Dan, so excuse me, Kool Pal, let me regulate. She had to regulate the background.
And then
we had on the radio.
And then we had MC Shan, and we had Angie Stone, and we had Lisa Wu from Atlanta Housewives, and we had so many great guests.
We had Mr. Bays. Yo, we had crazy people, son.
And what we do, when we say hip-hop, when it was hip-hop and life and lifestyle, we're not going to sit here and regulate about what we did back in 1978, 79, and, I was first and I was third, and who's on second. So we talk about that for a short minute, but we're going to talk about what our pioneers and legends are doing today.
Exactly. That's very important. Yeah.
I like to give a shout out to all our hip-hop family. We had a great guest 2 weeks ago, where we did a back-to-back with Tiny from the Casanovas and the Spades. And following our show tonight is our young brother DJ 360 Bars. We got a repeat of Posse Skate interview. And, last week he had the RBL Posse Black Sheep. But, as we get into our groove, and I let Kool Pal handle the interview because he's more of the interview type person. I'm just an opening monologue and everything.
You knock it off, son.
And our most of hip hop. Everybody say the Bronx. Yeah, okay. Hip hop is just a synonym of a name that was developed in the mid 70s.
In the Bronx.
We all took from previous people prior to us, from the dance move to some of the lingo and sayings, but we perfected it into a style that went global in every language.
Yes, sir.
And when I say the Bronx, you got Brooklyn, you got Queens, you got Manhattan, you got Jersey City, you got Long Island, you got upstate New York. Before records, brothers was out here in the middle.
Doing their thing. Yes, sir.
They caught wind of what was going on.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I happen to be one of the early promoters and to partner with my idol, Kool DJ AJ, who put me on. I also got to work with the great team of Mike and Dave. And when we expanded, leaving Manhattan and the Bronx and going out to Queens, you know, we started doing the Olympia Palace and Martin Van Buren High School and, you know, Jamaica Roller Dome. And I started hearing about a crew out in Long Island called Spectrum. I'm like, what the fuck is Spectrum? Well, that's a DJ crew. They out there doing their thing in Long Island and everything. A lot of people don't understand. Long Island has a history in hip hop.
Yes, it does.
A lot of them know Kool Cow from his father having a store on 145th Street near St. Nicholas Avenue. And a lot of people understand that, you know, Kool Cow was from Harlem, but he's from the Bronx, but he grew up in Long Island. And Kool Cow moved to Long Island. Right. But the whole thing I'm trying to say is, we all came from different parts of New York City. Those who are in the Bronx were born in Brooklyn, but you claim what you want to claim, but where you grew up most of your first 10, 13 years is what counts. But tonight, we have a great guest, a great human being, a humanitarian, somebody who makes you laugh. At one point, reading articles, him and his partner at one time was considered the Albert and Costello of hip hop when they had their radio show, because they were funny. They worked great together. And over the years, life changed, things changed. We all move on. We do different things. But a lot of y'all in this hip-hop game might not have had this privilege to have been on MTV, Yo MTV Raps. I was glad doing it a few times. And I always looked at that show as one of the pinnacle points in bringing what we did in hip-hop, and all of us contributed to the forefront. They gave us a platform when nobody gave nobody a platform.
Yes, sir. You were right ahead of time, so yes, sir.
And not only did they do it from the radio standpoint and TV standpoint, they also did it from the radio standpoint. They was the Frankie Crockers. They was the Alan Freed. They was whoever had the power. Like, yo, we got to go and see these brothers if we want to get on. But I'm going to make this real short. It's a pleasure for our first guest in 2018. And all I got to say, yo, we got the one and only, the real Dr. Dre. Mr. R.J. Brown, how you feeling, my brother?
Thank you, Cookie Van Cook. Not only a prestidigitator, but also an innovator, also a originator, also a pioneer, also someone I looked up to when I first met him at Rush Productions on 23rd Street almost 35 years ago. And we shook hands, and from that moment on, I've known him ever since, and always seen the things and things that he's done. Well, not just to the music, but to the culture, and always been very impressed. I grew up around, of course, the great Kool Cow, Star Child. I was blessed to have it in the neighborhood, because we come from the same neighborhood called Westbury, New York. But I come from also where I call a place called Newcastle, which is right next door to Westbury. But we didn't have a post office, Westbury did, so that's the way it was. And I'm just lucky to be here with you guys. You guys have a lot of history, and you mentored my ability to actually move forward. Like you said, when you look to Long Island, which I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but Brooklyn and Queens is on Long Island. Don't get it twisted. There was Spectrum City, not Spectrum. There was two Spectrums out here. One Spectrum was a guy named I can't think of his name. Was the Shockley brothers. And a guy named Chucky D, a.k.a. Chuck D, Butch Cassidy. There was Dan the Soundman, John Delight. There was a lot of people, including in Spectrum City. That's why they changed their name to Spectrum City, because they were getting confused with people, booking that guy thinking they were getting Spectrum City. And they were a pinnacle at doing jams and park jams and all sort of stuff, and also pinnacle of bringing what we were doing out here, the same way we saw from different avenues all over the boroughs, from the Bronx, where I was blessed to see Grandmaster Flash when I was a youngster, and I was blessed to hear Bambaataa and them going up there, because, I mean, it was this new thing, like, yo, what is that? And, man, they're playing these records and this sound, you know, we just absorbed it. And in absorbing it, then when you came home, you know, I started a little group myself called The Concept. And along with my partner, T Money, and we did what we had to do to try to find a way to be important, because the one reason we all did it, everybody wanted to be thorough. That's what it was. You play the record, the guy was a good So you have a guy like Kool who can grab a mic and actually articulate, be pretty good looking for himself, and actually bring them to you. That's what you did. So you've got the best MCs or the best rappers at the time, because I always try to make a strong distinction between rap and hip-hop culture. We've taken the hip-hop word because you couldn't keep saying rap concert and band until you this is a promoter, because the venues wouldn't book you. They wouldn't let you bring a rap show in there. And that went all the way back from HBI with the great Mr. Magic and African Islam. After a while, when the violence got too ridiculous, they stopped booking in those places. So we converted to use the term hip hop, so they thought you were getting the R&B side of it along with it. So we had to put on the hard bottoms rather than just sneaking and walking into the spot. So that's how that kind of went down. So thank you. I appreciate the introduction.
Wow. Well, you know,
just a little history.
At this point, I'd like to welcome you to our show. It's an honor. I've been knowing you since we were teenagers. I'm a little bit older than you, but I was still a teen. And thank you for giving us the honor of being our first guest for 2018. One of us Hip Hop Life and Lifestyles, my man, Andre Brown, the original. And listen, on my show and Van Silk's show, we keep it real. This is what we do. We do it every week. And listen, we get mad phone calls from all around the world. We keep it real. This is the original Dr. Dre. If you don't know by now, Kool saying it, and I'm saying it, y'all need to hear this. And they'll record it, and they'll post it again, and people will hear about this. This is the original Dr. Dre. And I met Dr. Dre. First of all, our families is like family. My mom and his arm is mad cool. We come from the same hood. I came from the Bronx in 76, moved out here, and I brought hip-hop out to Westbury because I was already doing a little something. And, you know, I got on the mic, and Andre heard me, and Andre played one time at the spot I was playing on. He got on the turntables. He did his thing. And I was like, yo, big boy. Because he was a big boy. He's a big boy now. And he's taking care of his health, and he's getting a little bit lighter in the waist. But he was always a big boy. But big boy got on the turntables and did his thing. And I was already like Kool, you know what I'm saying? But it was all great because he did his thing.
Let me tell you a story there, Kyle. Let me tell you a story. I was DJ. My cousin was DJing at a party at the high school. It's called the King and Queen Band. Their equipment was what, and we had split up as a group. So they asked me, Drake, can we borrow your amps? I said, really? Can I borrow your something else? You know, between your legs? I said, nah, that can't happen. If I come here, I'm going to do the show, be part of myself. So me and T, we jumped in our van, his van, got the equipment, came up there, and we started DJing the party. In comes Kool, and I think his record just had come out. And I had just got it. I was like, yo, wait a minute, that's Kool, wait a minute. So he came over to the mixer, and he's vibing on stuff, and I'm playing beats back to back, and going, dude, I know how to do it. I got it. And he's doing it, and he's vibing around me. So I get his attention, like, dog, I point to the record. He goes, yeah, play that. So we play this song, and he just does it. And at the end, I'm like, whoa, DJ's a Kool. That was crazy. That can happen. And the funny part was like, that's how far back we go, Andre. Yeah, no doubt. That's how far back we go. And that's only to say that Nassau County and Westbury, you know, see, Dr. Dre comes from Long Island, and I moved to Long Island. You know, I come from the Bronx, so. But it's not even about me. It's about Dr. Dre right now. But that's just our history together. So, Dre, welcome to our show. Glad you're here. I really want to hear what you're doing now. But let's get into your history real quick. So, how did you start? What you were saying about us living here in Westbury, I have relatives in Brooklyn. I have relatives uptown. I have relatives in the Bronx. That's how I got to see all this stuff because I was always out there for 2 weeks here or 2 weeks there during the summer. So you saw all these different things. I marveled at it. I got to give credit also to my cousin Kevin Matt, who was the only person I ever known to have about 20 turntables running in his house at the same time. So when we went to the barbecue at his house, he'd always have continuous music by some crazy chance. And I was fascinated me. I was like, how do you do that? And he'd always get like turntables and just have records and stuff. And the big thing he would play was James Brown. So my start was very simple. As I told you, we used to go to parties, being a youngster at a place called Grand Street School, which used to be our preschool and kindergarten out here.
Yes, sir.
And then we started throwing parties there. So people like King Charles, Nelson PR, the Infinity Machine, Disco Twins,
Blue Collar,
Star Child. You want me to tell it or you want to tell it? I was about to say that. Thank you. No, the thing is, we went to those things and we became fascinated with it because, like I said, if you want to get the girls, you have to go to parties. So I became crazy interested in trying to DJ. And the first thing you got to do is you got to get turntables. So I used to take my father's old Gerard turntable and another Gerard turntable, which had like an automatic tone arm. So, that was the worst thing to use to DJ, because you just see people DJing with turntables. And you keep spinning the turntable back until the arm will go back. And you go, hey, come on. Yeah, so then somebody told me, dude, those aren't the turntables you need. You need to get something like this. I said, really? Wow, I need to get some of those. And when I asked my father, I said, I got to get a pair of turntables. He said, for what? I said, yeah, I want to DJ. He said, DJ what? I said, DJ's on the radio. What are you going to do? You don't do that. Let's combine it. I said, oh, come on. Let me try it. Let me work it out. But he kind of knew what was going on because he had been to parties with different West Indian DJs, and they were toasting and had huge sound systems at the time. So when I was asking him about doing it, he was like, really? I don't know. Because, these guys had monster systems. I'm talking about King Charles had a huge system.
Yes, he did.
He came with it just was thunders, and the Disco Twins had these speakers called earthquakes. And I did a lot of their parties where you would stand in front of the speaker and your clothes would be blown off if they dropped the hardest beat. That's what would happen. So when you go around that, you become a fan of what's going on. So I became a fan of the music from all different angles, realizing the different complexities of breaks versus regular songs. And like I said, back then, rap records weren't out like they are today. They were going to rap record every 30 seconds. Back then, it was a rap record once every 3 to 6 months. And you had to get that, and then you run to the store to pick it up. So that's where the fascination came from. And I did start working with my partner T Money in the beginning. We had a whole crew. Everybody has a crew. We had a crew called the Phantom Force. There was about 100 of them. And nobody had any records. But there was 100 people in the crew because we were cool. And that lasted about we did one gig at my boss's house for his daughter's birthday party. We had like 7 records in a crate. We thought we had a lot. We played them 7 records over and over again. Yeah, but that's how you learn. And, save some money up. And I went in the first set of turntables I got. Believe it or not, they were not technically turntables. They were Lafayette turntables, belt-driven turntables. And I bought a Lafayette mixer. Right. That's what was there because all that stuff wasn't like prevalent like that. You have to go find that kind of stuff, or you have to go in the city in Queens. So my father went to Lafayette, which I just said, this isn't what everybody does.
On Old Country Road, because that's where I got my first amp at. Lafayette, my first turntable.
Lafayette was at Jericho Turnpike in Syosset.
Oh, okay, because I got there was Old Country Road, right?
Okay. Yeah, so we went there, got it, and I started with that. And then it was T Money who told me, no, Joe, you can't DJ with my cousin Warren said you can't DJ with the rubber slip mats. You got to put on these felt slip mats. So we cut out the felt and we learned how to snap, this works really cool. Now I see why they can scratch and cut. Because I always was fascinated watching scratch, going, how do you do that? How do you make the record do you see this because you pay attention and you analyze. Because we want to get better. And I got to give credit to also my man Brian Smith, who used to go up to all these different parties all over the boroughs, and he'd come back b-boying and dancing at the Kazuri Youth Center, which is our youth center on Prospect Avenue, where when you went to DJ battle, if you didn't go in there and win, you were done. You were finished. And we had quite a few crews out here that were very cool. We had there was Just Us. There was another crew called the Maplewood Crew, which kind of came towards the end of what we were doing in the parks. Walk Factor 2, and I did a lot of watching. But the prominent two crews at the end of the day was Music Mind and the Concept was what we did. Yeah, because not only did we end up getting, did we get the equipment to do what we were doing. The interesting part was that we also played the right music, and we started doing all the parties everywhere. And you have to be down with a certain clique, you get parties and stuff, but you also have to be pretty good at doing what you did. So it was always how much information you can find to make what you did work. That's what the key was. And we had great research. We did great research about stuff, T was with me. No, T honestly was in Walk Back to 2 for a while, but they weren't giving him any light. So I said, yo, man, why don't you come with me? And he had some speakers. I said, cool, that'd be another set of speakers I got. So we got 2, 4. We could work from there and we'd start building up from that position. And we did. And that's how we came together. And we did a lot of park jams with everybody else. Like I said, we battle DJ'd. Music Mind was consisted of a gentleman named Greg Royal, Clarence Josie, and Frank Pompey, yeah. And if you want to understand who Greg Royal is, all you got to do is turn over the Iconic album from the other Dr. Dre, and his name is there. That's why when I started listening, I said, wait a minute, why are you doing this music? I wasn't doing this. When I saw Greg Royal being there, and I asked Greg, I said, Greg, did you there, man? I worked with that. So how come I didn't give you any money? I said, nah, man, you know how it goes. I said, nah, it's not how it goes. I said, but then just put your name on the back side. Gotta give it some kind of respect for that. Right. So we come from a whole lineage out here on Long Island, from the Bismarckies, the Rock Kings, the EPMDs, the De La Souls. I mean, the list goes on, the Prince Pauls. I mean, it goes on and on. But everybody interchanged in and out of boroughs. Even like with Busta Rhymes and Leaders of the New School, who came out of the Bomb Squad crew, where they signed Leaders of the New School and created that out of the radio station that we did out here at Adelphi University. When I first met Chuck, Bill Stephanie, and Harry Allen in my black music class, they introduced me to WBAU. I mean, we had heard about each other, but we were more adversarial with Spectrum at the time because we thought that Spectrum was the guy that was stopping us from doing parties at colleges around the world. Every time we would go do it, he would go, no, you can't get down here. And then you have to be down with their fraternity. It was a lot of stuff. But people would say, like, yo, y'all need to DJ here. Because he would DJ at a place called CW Post out here at Long Island University. Yeah, but my brother had folks over at Old Westbury, so they would see me over there, and they were like, yo, your brother should be DJing over here and do that party. But that guy kept blocking us, and it got pissed me off. So when I met Chuck and I saw me in the Spectrum City jacket, I was like, yo, that's that dude. Yo, wait a minute. Yo, I need to talk to them. So I talked to him, but Chuck was so personal and nice. I was like, I can't be that mad at him. He seems okay. And then when we started talking, we found out, no, they're the original Spectrum, and that dude took their name, and they've been trying to fight that dude for a long time, so that's why they changed it to Spectrum City. And they came out with jackets and the whole thing, and I was like, whoa. Now I just took it to a whole nother place. And you know what it is? They inspired me to push my level of DJing to another place, too. Because at first, when you did DJ, it was resting with turntables and the mic, from time to time back then. But they had the lights, the smoke, the whole thing, and I thought, we got to do this, too. So T and I innovated the way we did. We found ways to try to do stuff like that. When they started seeing what we were doing, they were like, yo, these guys are for real. They're not taking it like it's a joke. And that's what a lot of people did do with it. They took this whole idea of rap music and DJing and b-boying like a joke because, in the beginning it was a lot of DJ battles in small community centers or in the park, bragging on the mic and all that stuff. And some people could misconstrue it. But then, and we got to remember, this time, every record played at a party, there wasn't a rap record that was played, but the rap records got a lot of attention because people could hear them. And this is before we got commercial radio and being played daily. This is just when you have weekend airplay with like the great Kool DJ Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, of course, Mr. Magic and Molly Mall. And, I still give big credit to Africa Islam and Zulu Beats. We used to listen to all that stuff all the time. We used to have our aluminum foils on the antenna and say, hold the radio right, keep recording. We went through all of that, yeah. But that was to me, I don't want to say that's the great kind of rap, but that was, I call, the energy. Because when you fight to hear something like that, or you fight to play stuff, I mean, there's a different energy than it is where it's just, okay, you can wake up in your basement and all of a sudden you're an MC DJ. Didn't work that way with us. You have to go out there and prove yourself every time. You couldn't do
Right. That was the very beginning. And I remember when I first saw you play, I remember you came to me in Donald. I didn't know you from a can of paint. And me and DJ Showdown did a couple of things already. And, you know, cats had known me because I had made a little name for myself. Then my record had just came out. And I'm all souped up. And, you know, you asked me, could you get on? And I'm like, yo, who are you? You know, I'm Dr. Dre. I'm like, yeah, okay. And you got on and you did your thing. And not that you only could play, but it was impressive. And mind you, by that time, I had already been hooked up with Flash, Grand Wizard Theodore. Because, you know, I stayed in the Bronx. I live in Long Island. But every time I could get my mom and dad's car, I'm taking that car, I'm going back to the Bronx. And I'm watching this cat play, watching you, and I'm like, yo, this cat, yo, he's doing something. He's playing. You, Music Mind, and there was a couple of cats out Long Island that did their thing, but you stood out to me. And I knew that one day, you know, something's going, if you stick with it, you're going to become something. And I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know when, how, why, where, and how it was going to be, but I knew that one day cats were going to recognize you. Because back in those days, before records came out, it was about being that DJ. Mm-hmm. And then on the MC level, it was about that MC. And you had the DJ stuff locked down, so I got to give you mad props for that, because I definitely checked you out. No doubt, Dre. You know what I mean, you do. And
some people think that I didn't really DJ live on the air.
No, man, no. That's why you asked so the world can know, man. Dr. Dre's a real DJ. MTV Raps and all that is fine and well. Original concept, the group, and the recording deal with Def Jam is all fine and well, but he can play. He's a DJ. And see, hip-hop is based on DJing, MCing, B-boy. That's the original concept of hip-hop. I mean, and if you could do that, grab the right records at the right time and all that, and Dre did that. So
it's also learning how to read your audience. It's like being any kind of performer, whether you're a musician or you're a DJ. It's like you have to know what to play and when to play it when the audience is there. You have to know when to slow it down, and you have to know when to turn it up and hit them hard so that they can enjoy themselves. And that's honestly what the fascination with everything was, because I always got in my group, I always got to play the slow jams because everybody else said, yo, man, I got a girl. And I'm standing there going, wait a minute, yo, they set me up for this. This is crazy. So I learned how to play slow jams differently than what everybody else was, because I'm always having a DJ during it. So I would mix it out and cross-mix records and make it sound a certain way. And they go, yo, Joe, this is cool, yo. I said, yeah, this is cool, because I used to sell my cassette tapes back in the day, and I made, my slow jam tapes or quick jam tapes. But we used to have battles on buses, too, with radios and boxes. I'll never forget that with JVC radios. And I'll never forget, I was going to a trip up to Bear Mountain, and Frank Pompey had a Music Mind tape, and he had a 10-inch JVC radio, and I was mad. They said, yo, that tape was hot. I was like, yo, that shit was hot. I said, but I got something for that. And I pulled up my JVC, and I hit the button, and I was like, yo, oh, see, and that's what made it cool. So it was like a friendly rivalry. And at one point, we just all sat down and started shaking. I said, oh, man, we should just do this together in a certain way, because this is cool. We both do it, but we do our own thing. So we started interchanging, and everybody was switching gigs and doing places and different stuff. And it worked out really cool for a long time. But like I said, when I met Spectrum City and Chuck and them, and I went up to 510 South Franklin, when I first met Hank Shockley and Keith Shockley, also a.k.a. known as Wizard KG, KJWE, and John Delight and Butch Cassidy. And I was like, whoa, I heard about these guys, but I didn't know those were the same guys that I heard about doing what they were doing, because I always associated them with this other guy who just, the only thing this guy used to have this beatbox he used to play all the time. So everybody thought that was the craziest, hottest thing. But I was like, please, man, we could do better than that. We could do something crazier than that. And that was the whole point. Always, the competition factor wasn't a competition of winning the fight. It was trying to outdo and be better, just like an MC would do on the mic, saying the proper metaphor, putting the right two words together. But the thing is, being a DJ, you better make sure you're playing the right beat. That's the most important part. Because you told the raw beat, and the MC could be dope all he wants to. A lot of MCs, like I said, you say, yo, turn the music down, turn it down, do this. And I was like, no, dude, let me do this. I got you. And then guys would get comfortable. Like I said, when Kyle got comfortable, he just let me go. And he's like, yo, he really knows what to do with this. And it's how you know what you're trying to do and how you want it to flow. So there's a lot of guys that can DJ, but there's not a lot of guys that can DJ with MC, especially when you have a bunch of them. And I got to give a big shout out to the What It Be 3 MC, Kool AD, Rapper G, and of course Mike G from out here, where we used to do battle from other groups around the way. With a couple Live 5 and Uniondale. We had, you know what, in that time, the emotion and the adrenaline drove us. It wasn't the money. It was just everything else. It was like, yo, it was the energy. Right. That was the energy. So the same thing drove us into when we started to go into trying to record and what we wanted to do with that, because that was honestly just a kind of a fluke in itself. Because again, being introduced to WBAU radio in Adelphi University with Bill Stephanie, who had the Mr. Bill show on Monday nights, of course, rest in peace to the great Rusty J. And also there was a Super Spectrum mixed hour and 1/2 on a Saturday night, and Bill used to host the first hour. And watching them do this, it's like, that's what I always wanted to do. Because I remember when I was at Westbury High School, we had like a little radio station thing in there, but it only broadcasted in the cafeteria. So I used to do that during my lunch hour and bring my food back there and play records, and be like, yo, that was so cool. Can you play this one next day? And I would do that for a minute, but this was the first time we got actually to broadcast out. And I used to listen to BAU, but again, BAU was hard to pick up at the time. But as the signal grew and got better, we were able to hear it. And then, as I said, I went to Adelphi University because I was fooled by the big button and smile. And thank God I was fooled by that big button and smile, because look at where it took me. It took me from doing college radio to actually going out and being the Beastie Boys DJ on tour at the Raising Hell the Raising Hell tour, because my group Original Concept, we wrote the song "Proud to Be Black" on the Raising Hell album. Yeah, it goes like that.
Okay, so I'm glad you're mentioning that, because let's fast forward to your days on the radio and what led you to Def Jam, because we're getting ready to get into your history and after your local DJ days, because that's already in concrete. Let's talk about your radio DJ days, your combination of the radio experience and what led you to Def Jam with Original Concept, and what took you from there.
Well, it's very simple. Like I told you the story, Bill Stephanie, Chuck D, Harry Allen, and myself were in the same black music class. And they've always told a joke. Dre used to come in wearing sweater vests and ties in school. We were like, who's this guy? But when we started talking in class about stuff, I would bring up Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament Funkadelic, Bob Marley, and talk about all these different music styles. I said, yeah, this is this. And they're like, yo, I've seen you before. But they never saw me like with a tie and a sweater vest for the class. So, we said, yo, I want to take you somewhere. So we went up to the UC, and Bill and Chuck, introduced us to where BAU was. I said, oh, shoot, this is a real radio station. Whoa, this is kind of cool. So after spending a year under Bill's tutelage and under Chuck and Butch and Hank and Keith, I learned what they were doing up there with it. I'd heard it, but then when you're there, you start learning production. You start learning, how to edit, how to cut stuff, what to do, how to record things. So out of that whole experience, and I heard they were playing all these different demos from all different types of people, like MC DJ Flavor, not Flavor, it was just MC DJ Flavor, the Deadly MC, Townhouse 3, Uptown E, and all these other various groups that were being produced out of 510 South Franklin, but that Keith was doing along with Chuck and then that they put together. I said, man, we need to put something together. We need to put a stamp on this. So I came up with this instrumental track called "It's Great to Be Here" / it became "Can You Feel It" when I got signed to Def Jam. And that was like a big BAU, track. Like, whoa, this is really cool. And it basically was a concept promotion thing. As we did, we put the names of the people in the group, and they heard the song. Like, yo, this is kind of cool. The next one we did, we said we got to do a station promo, so we got to put everybody in there. And at the time, we were walking around talking like people that were at the Hempstead bus terminal. So I got to credit to Butch Cassidy, because he was the one going, yo, cuz, yo. And we would do that and joke around all the time. So we actually put that together and formulated a song called Knowledge Me, which was T-Money and I going, yo, cuz, I went down to the Hempstead Terminal, man, and the guards came up to us. What did they say to you, cuz? They said, knowledge me, me. That was a BAU promo. Now, at that time, Run DMC was coming through the station because they would listen to it in Queens all the time. And they were like, yo, all this great music. Well, who are these guys? And they would come up, and there's a famous picture of myself, Jam Master Jay, and Run D. And I'm standing with my Westbury jersey on with my concept hat at WBAU. And they was like, yo, man, you need to take some of this stuff to Russell and take it up to Rick and play it for him, so they could check it out. So we always had tapes of everything. And that's what I did. I went and took it up. So I met Russell, Bill Adler, Leo
Russell and Rudy and Bill Adler, and Heidi, who's Russell's main girl.
Right. Heidi Smith, Bill Adler, and Bill Adler was in charge of being the publicist of Rush, and Andre Harrell was there, who I went to find out that was really Dr. Jekyll. My man, not Jimmy Spicer. Yeah, I met Jimmy Spicer there too. But Tony Rome was up there at the time.
Right, Tony Rome.
So it was a whole bunch of people, including Van Phil. I met there. So we used to come up there and we used to do top tens, and we created booklets for what we were doing at BAU, and I kept bringing stuff up there and showing them. They were like, whoa, this is really cool. So Run DMC was on the charts, and all different Rush artists like Houdini were on there. So eventually, Run told me, Trey, you need to get this to Rick. Russell always do it. Just take it over to Rick. And I called Rick, and Rick said, yeah, man, come up to my dorm room. I'm like, dorm room? What, you college? I said, yes, he was at NYU. So I went up to NYU, went to his dorm room, we hung out, and I started playing with stuff, and he just fell in love with original kind of like, yo, this is crazy. This is so cool, so cool. So I said, all right. He said, yo, I want to sign now. I said, sign her? He said, yeah, you guys should be on Def Jam. And at that time, Def Jam was just a little independent label. It was Burgundy and Gray. And that was just before they got the big Sony or CBS deal at the time. Right. He said, I want to sign y'all. So we got a contract, and we sat down and ran through it, went got a lawyer, and decided, okay, let's do it. At that time, Spectrum had already done a single on the Vanguard label called Check Out the Radio and Live, or Live, Check Out the Radio. And they were like soured with doing recording because of the situation they went through with that. So I came back to Rick one day. I came back to Rick when Russell was there with him, and Russell was speaking on the futon. And I said, Rick, I got to play some more stuff for you. He said, yeah, play this with me. So I played Public Enemy #1, which was a station promo for BAU. And he was like, wow, what is this? Russell got up, before the song got halfway through, and he said, this is noise, and threw the tape out the window. I said, yo, dude, what is wrong with you? Are you crazy? He said, man, that's just garbage. I never signed that. That's a waste of time. But then as I became close with the Beastie Boys, and we hung out, and I brought them up to the station to be and interview them at BAU, and we started developing a relationship, and we started listening, all different types of music. And they realized, damn, Tracy, he's not just one thing. He listens to a whole lot of music. He listens to Led Zeppelin too. He listens to AC/DC. Damn, I didn't know he was into all of that too. I started doing shows with them. So we started comparing, like we do on the bus with Music Line. We play tapes of what they like, and I play tapes of what I like. So they started getting hooked on Public Enemy #1. They were like, yo, Rick, you got to hear this. You got to hear this. And I played it again for Rick. And Rick said, yo, this is crazy. He said, make me a copy. So I made him a copy, and he just went crazy for it. So I said, all right, let me talk to Chuck and him about it. At that time, we were DJing out of the club called Twilight / Entourage out in Bayshore. We were DJing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We would do Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then Spectrum would do Friday and Saturday night. And then we intertwine back and forth. If we had another gig, we'd switch off and do that. And we did that till we couldn't do the club anymore, until the club got shut down, as it always does, through the shootouts, the craziness, and the owners. Right. We always fell into something. So we were in my van, and I said, yo, guys, I'm tired of dealing with this craziness, man. Look, I got a record contract. We need to concentrate on making records. And they were like, nope, don't want to make records no more, Dre. It's just a pain in the ass, and you never get paid from it, and this is a waste of us to do. I'm on Def Jam, man. We need to do this. And then just after that happened, I said, look, I'm going to concentrate on doing this. Y'all decide to do what you want to do. And when we went in the studio and recorded Knowledge Me, Keith Shockey was there with us, and we did Knowledge Me, and we did Can You Feel It in One Night at Chung King. downtown.
Rich, yeah.
And with my man Steve Beck. And my man Steve Beck. Yeah, so that's how we kind of went from the radio into record for me. And people always tell a story, oh, it was so-and-so bought Public Enemy to death. No, it was me. I did that. And then Chuck tells the story, says, no, it was Dre. Dre took all of us around. Dre always promoted everybody. And, you know, whoever picked up on one set, it went there. And that's why Chuck and them was the Bomb Squad and, you know, Public Enemy, because as Chuck said, he didn't really think Public Enemy was going to manifest into anything else. But I got to say we, in only one sense, because we were like the rebels on a college campus. We were that all Public Enemies. We always fought all the different sororities and the fraternities. To say, yo, I don't know why y'all can't just come together as black people and stop all this nonsense. It makes no sense. But they all respected us because we stood to our principles. Right. That's kind of how we got there. So I had been known for a while around doing this stuff, and my DJ Easy G Rockwell won the New Music Seminar DJ contest, which was really cool, and it helped also promote getting out, start doing the recordings with Original Concept. But I hit the road. I'll never forget. I used to do gigs. I used to do BC Boy gigs, and then get on a plane and fly over and then do an Original Concept gig, then fly back and do a BC Boy gig, and go back and forth. And they're like, how do you do that? And I used to burn myself out like crazy. And then have to be back on Monday night to do my show at BAU.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah,
right.
That's how I had to do it, because again, a lot of that was the adrenaline of loving doing it and performing in front of different people. The one thing about the Beastie Boys gave me access to a different audience that I wasn't getting normally from what we do and where we came from, not just a white and black audience. Because I remember when the Beastie Boys opened up for Madonna on Radio City Music Hall.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. And they got booed off the stage and they were crazy acting. But I remember going up into Boston and DJing for them behind Fenway Park, and I went there with a white tie and one suit on, and that dude destroyed my sweatsuit. And I said, I'll never wear anything good again. Y'all, look at this. We go for my shoes, because they were drinking, they were having fun, and they'd be all over the place. But the one thing they did is they had a great love of what rap and hip hop was about. They weren't trying to be phony about it. They were like, they really, really wanted to be down and be a part of it. And Run DMC helped guide that and helped put that together. And I guess everybody kind of contributed to their success. But, you know, certain people got credit for doing something that they didn't really quite do by themselves.
There you go.
And I mean, I'll tell you more about that after the book is written.
Yeah, because, you know, I know you're going into areas that you want to share in your book. I know you have a project that you're working on now, which is going to be spectacular. But let's talk about, okay, so you made these inroads. You're DJing for groups that became major. How did you wind up getting with Ed Lover and then join the your MTV Raps thing? Because the world needs to know you guys were the first to do that show. That show had a major impact on black music. And I will say black music and hip-hop. Because I remember when I approached MTV, they were like, oh, Kool, yeah, you got a record out and you're hot, but we don't deal with black music. And, you know,
that's your bad, Kyle. It's the same thing to Michael Jackson, too.
Yeah, okay. I think that, but he was Michael Jackson. I think that, Andre. But tell us how that came about. How did you do with Ed, and how did you crack basically MTV? So how did that happen?
Well, it's very simple. Over 30 years ago, I was DJing at a guy named Beaver's loft parties, and Jessica Rosenblum. I was doing their loft parties, and a guy I'd met a few times at different Beastie Boy functions that I did at the World and things like that. A guy named Peter Darty saw me, and he walked up to me and said, "Hey, man, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, where's Dad? What's going on, Pete?" Because we used to call him Clark Kent because he had those Clark Kent type of glasses on,
right?
And he had that kind of stature. So he was like, "Hey, what's going on there?" And he said, "Hey, man, I need you to come down to MTV, and I want to talk to you about something. Would you be interested?" I said, "Right, sure." So he whipped his card out and handed it to me and had a shamrock on it for Peter Darty. I said, "Right." I said, "So when do you want to meet?" He said, "Just give me a call. We'll set up a time and come on down. I want to talk to you." So I asked him, he said, "You're a great DJ." And he was like, "Oh, man, I'm so impressed. You play all the cool stuff." I said, "Well, thanks." I gave him a call when I got home the next day. First, I showed T the card. He was like, "Yeah, right. So we're going to do it on TV." You got to remember, at that time, MTV wasn't in the Bronx, it wasn't in Queens, and it wasn't in Brooklyn like that. It was on Nassau County and Queens because of Cablevision. So they didn't have cable like that yet. They were dealing with I forgot what it was called. When you held the antenna out your window, and you could pick up some stations and some stuff. HBO wasn't like all of that. So MTV was still new. Okay,
right, so about the early 80s, right?
No, about the mid 80s when we on the
right, 2, 3, 4, right.
So after that, I called them and I set up an appointment, went up there, and I walked in there and I kept saying, "Wow, I wonder what he wants me to do." There ain't no black people up here, but people cleaning up. So I don't know what the hell he wants me to do, and I'm damn sure not taking that job. So he brought me in the office and he said, "We're thinking about doing this rap show." He said, "Called Yo MTV Raps." He said, "Did you see the pilot?" I said, "No." And he said, "Well, check this out." And he sat me down. I watched the pilot. It was with Run DMC. It was at Nassau Coliseum. There was a Def Jam tour, which Run DMC was headlining with Public Enemy, Houdini, LL Cool J. No, that wasn't LL Cool J. It was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were on that tour, and that was the first pilot for Yo MTV Raps. And they said, if it does well, we want to expand the show. He said, "Okay." I said, "That's just cool." He said, "I just want to see if I can get you to come on and give some advice for this." So I said, "Give advice?" I said, "Does advice come with a paycheck?" He said, "Well, absolutely. Let's talk to you about this." So they hired Fab Five Freddy to start doing the weekend show because they were just giving it, after the pilot did so well, they were just giving it a chance to see what would happen with Fab. And they, I don't know how they picked Fab. That's a Fab story. But
that's not a story, right.
Yeah, that's a Fab story. So I saw a few episodes he did with it, and I said, "Yeah, this is cool." I said, "But he needs to interject either some information and some fun and some comedy to it. It's just like he's just doing a straight hard interview with the guests. There's nothing different between him and everybody else that's on MTV, except it's just the different faces. You're starting to see, people of color and rappers now, actually getting, their due, like you would give due to Aerosmith or Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, like it was an opportunity." So he called me back in and he asked me, he said, "Look, the show's doing so well. Why don't you give me a pilot of what do you think you should do that could add to the show?" Because he wanted to add me into Fab show. So we went out to Hempstead to Jackson Unisex, where I got my hair cut by Dr. Richard Jackson.
Right.
And I did a segment about getting haircuts. And the thing was, I was just supposed to produce it. The guy that we had to come in with the hair, which could cut it, we'd ask him the questions, didn't show up. So I hopped in the chair. He was there, and I did it because I knew everything we were supposed to do. And Peter was there, and Peter was like, "Yo, come on, where's this guy, Dre? We can't wait hours for a guy. We got to do this." So Peter shot it, took the tape back, brought it up to MTV. They saw it. They fell in love with me. But I was like, "No, I'm supposed to produce this. I don't want to be on TV." Because again, like Kyle said, I'm a big guy. I said, I don't fit the MTV image. Matter of fact, I put 3 or 4 different images. It's not, I don't think the big guy is a good guy to be on the screen like that. Even though the Fat Boys did very well. Peter invited me back up, and I went back up, and he said, "Look, man, this is really happening." He said, "I want you to meet my production assistant, Ted Demi, and he's going to help coordinate this." I said, "Oh, okay." So I met with Ted, and we sat there and talked. And I remember when I walked down the hall, there was this other guy sitting out there in the chair out of Ted's office. I'm like, "Who the hell is that?" And he kind of looked at me with a cross eye, and I looked at him with a cross eye, because you can kind of feel something was going on. So I sat there, and Ted filmed me, and we did like a little a pilot or a demo for people at MTV. And I said, "Okay, I'm going back down to Peter's." And I walked back down to Peter's office and said, "Yo, man, it's nice meeting you." And I kept saying, Demi, why do I know that name so well? Only to find out that he's the nephew of the Oscar Award-winning director, Jonathan Demme. I was like, "Whoa, Jonathan Demme, exactly." Yeah, that was his uncle. So I went back down to Peter's office and we started talking. He's like, "Yeah, man, I think this is going to blow up." He said, "They want to do a daily spin-off show, and Fab doesn't want to do it, but we think you could do it." I said, "Okay." So then Ted came back down, and he said, "Could you come here with me for a second?" I said, "Sure." I went back to his office, and that guy was sitting in the chair in his office. Like, "Hey, what's up?" He said, "Hey, man, this is my partner Ed. This is Dr. Dre." Ed goes, yeah, I know him. You from that BAU thing? He said, yeah, man, we got BAU on the line. I said, yeah, man, I listen to your stuff sometimes. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, Ed's kind of an impresario, and he's like a local rapper, MC, and he, a funny guy. I want to try something with you two. Let's see if we could do something together. So Ed and I put on these Jamaican wigs that Ted had in his office, and we did this Jamaican demo talking about, different stuff and acting crazy. And Ted filmed it, grabbed the tape, and these guys always do, they grab the tape and run down the hall. I'm like, where are they going with the tape? He comes running back, and I said, well, it's nice meeting you. I shook Ed's hand, nice meeting you. And I went back down and was talking to Peter.
So that's the first time you met Ed Lover then?
That's the first time I ever met Ed. First time I ever met Ed.
Now, can you hold on a second, Ray? Because I got to do a little station break. This is Van Sook and Kool when it was hip hop, life and lifestyle. We on with the fabulous original Dr. Dre, and we're gonna go another hour with Dre, because we didn't get to the in depth of what you're doing now. We're gonna go to another hour, and I have my brother from Houston, Texas, DJ 360, who's supposed to come on at 9 o'clock. He just wants to say hi because he has another interview for next week's schedule. Oh, okay. He's on the line right now. DJ 360, Dr. Dre.
What's up, 360?
Dr. Dre. Wow.
He's still round and round,
man. Oh my good, yes, absolutely. And I told Van Silk. Matter of fact, what's up, Kool? I know you're on the line, my big brother. Kool. What's up, man?
What up, baby boy? How you, son? How you?
I'm good, man. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to you, my dude. Happy New Year to you, my dude.
Thank you, man. Hey, Dr. Dre, let me tell you something, man. I've been a fan for so long. And I put Knowledge Me and Pump That Bass are like two of my top 10 songs of all time with the beats and everything. So
thank you.
I just wanted to tap in and say thank you for the original concept. You're being signed to Def Jam, being on, Yo MTV Raps with Ed Lover, man. And I just want to say thank you for your legacy and everything that you showed me inadvertently as a DJ and as a hip hop personality over the years, man. I just wanted to call in and say I really appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you so much. And thank you for letting us bump you tonight for Dr. Dre.
Hey, no problem. No problem. Hey, but
360, I owe you one. 360. So we'll work something out. Kyle will hook it up and so will Van Silk, but I owe you one. I'm a little long-winded. They want all the information. It's not a 5-minute story. I wish it was. It used to be, but now it's on a little bit.
Hey, you could, Dr. Dre, you know what you could do for me, man? If I ever meet up with you, just sign my Knowledge Me 12-inch, man.
Not a problem.
Hey,
it's something hard to do.
Hey, Dre, me and Kool Calvin learned our lesson already. For those who've been on the radio before, because we know we're not gonna run the interview because we had Tyrone from Coach Chillin on and we did not get to speak.
He's right. That's why I'm quiet.
Yep. I was like, is Tyrone gonna take a breath? Like, he ran the interview. And I'm just trying to text Cal, like, yo, man, put a pause on this. Yo, Tyrone, hours.
I remember the first time I met Tyrone Williams. I remember the first time I met him when he used to carry the briefcase around all the time. That's how far back I go. Oh, yeah. He used to carry that briefcase. What's in the briefcase?
We know that Dr. J was going to do his thing because you got the experience of being on radio.
That's why you're on our show, Dre. That's why you're on our show.
I got to know how to cut you.
But see, you know what, so if you know how you do behind the scenes, we know who to check and who not to check. Dre is my boy from day like 1.2. And he has a story to tell. And I know we going into mad prohibitive areas, like time-wise. So what you want to do? So what are you saying right about now? What should we do?
Oh, no, we go on the whole hour. We 360 let us bump Positive K because of the reruns, so we got another hour.
Okay.
Rolling out, baby. We gonna keep it rolling.
Well, look, I promise to give y'all a good 15. And on the other 15, I'm going to pass it off to the DJ 360. Because I don't want to mess up.
No, Dre. We good, Dre. We good. You're going to tell us what you've been telling us. We're going to get into what you're doing now. We're going to our boy 360. and because he has a thing with positive K.
No, we're not doing that tonight. Okay, so let's go ahead.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now it's all about Dr. Dre.
Yes, there you go.
Look, I'm humbled. I really am. Believe me, I thank you for that. But I'm gonna end with the Young TV rap story so that you can bring me back to tell you the Hot 97 and the other stuff.
No,
and then I'll tell you what I'm doing now.
You can't go.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
Drake. Let us run our show, son. Let us run our show. This is Kool Cal, the original
Hold on. So let me call Tyrone Williams. Don't let me call him.
No, please. Because we got his ass in check. I said ass. He got his ass in check. He already know how to deal with Cal and Silk. Right, Silk?
Yep. Hey, 360 already committed the hour because Positive K was a rerun, so it's ready with us the next hour.
Okay.
Sorry, brother. So we still have to talk about the Barclays Center and everything that you're doing.
Oh, that's what I was getting ready to get into. So
I got you. Let me interview you, bro. Let me interview you.
Radio hosts are the worst people to interview. We're the worst people.
Like Pat Jones said, oh, God, I got you, Dre. It's your boy right here. I got you.
No, well, I thought you also said that I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
I love it. Okay, son. Okay, thank you, Phil. Okay, so Dre, so now you on MTV Raps. You met Ed Lover. So now the show has been on there. Let's say for how long, Dre? Give me a time period. A year, 2 years?
8 years. 8 years. We were on late 88 all the way into 95. So
wow. So
remember when we first started, every week we were like, "Oh, this is gonna be the last week." Oh,
I know you told me that personally in your interview with me. You did, right?
Yeah, that was the truth. We never thought it would last as long as we never thought it would be what it actually eventually became.
Okay, so Dre, let me ask you right now. Got you. Let me ask you right now. What were the highlights that you can remember briefly of your time doing the artists that came on the show? Of course, I was never on there. I never had a damn video. But anyway, that's another story. But what were your highlights of this show that you can remember? Because I'd like to move on from that. But what really stood out about that show that you and Ed captured? Because I know it was a standout show. It made an impact. And I know that because I follow the media and I follow what happens in hip-hop because, I'm a pioneer. And it was really important. Your show was a standout and a very impactful and important show in the history of hip-hop. So what stood out to you?
On the show? I'm going to say from our first show to our last show, which is infamous, and it's all over YouTube, the last show with the largest freestyle human rap fest done. The first show that started out with someone named Carol King, who was honestly the first guest on Young TV Raps. And you might say, well, who's Carol King? Well, she has a show down on Broadway now, talking about she's a singer, songwriter. The whole thing had nothing to do with rap music.
Are you talking about the Carol King, Dre? The Carol King?
Carol King was the first.
It's too late, baby, now. It's too late. That Carol King?
That Carol.
Wow.
She was the
phenomenal.
And the funny thing,
phenomenal, son.
She was sitting there because she was watching us when we were first doing the show, because they just had this little corner set and Ted put together and we, come up with stuff. And I said, Ted, I need to borrow your turntable from your office. And I brought it down to the set and I played music live. And they were like, what are you doing? It's okay. Play the music. And I would play beds. And they were like, we're going to talk over the beds. Oh, no, you need to drive. I said, no, we're going to talk over beds. It's going to be more impactful. More. Like, oh, how does that work? So she sat there and she watched us do, because remember, we pre-taped all 5 shows for the week. So I think we were doing the 3rd or 4th show. And she was sitting in the grandstand they used to have in the studio. We said, hi, who are you? We said, oh, it's Carol King. Oh, Carol King. Oh, come on, you got to be on the show. Yeah. Come on.
Tapestry.
Come on.
Her standout album was Tapestry, even though she had wrote mad hits in the 60s and early 70s. But her solo album was Tapestry, which was a phenomenal album.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It would be the equivalent to Jagged Little Edge by, what's that young lady's name? Jagged Little Pill, not Jagged Little Edge. I forgot the young lady's name.
Right.
So us tapping into that was like a phenomenal move. And that's always like, when we tell people that, they go, why would Carol King be on the MTV Raps? Because the vision that we had, and at that time, we programmed that show. Every guest that came on came through us. Because there were only 4 of us. There was Dr. Dre, Ed Lover, Fat Five Freddy, Ted Demme. And Peter Doherty was the exec.
Ted Demme.
So
wow.
we did all of it together. So we knew what Young T Raps was when it first came out. We didn't have enough videos to play for a week like that. You just see the same thing over and over again. So we played Bob Marley, James Brown, Paul and Funkadelic, anything that had some other that had some influence in rap and hip hop and the culture.
On the hip hop culture, exactly.
Right. So we didn't want to limit it. So they were like, wait a minute, wow, I thought this was a rap show. It is a rap show. Just here are the influences too. And that was the most important part because we were fans. We acted like we were fans of the music. So it gave us a different experience on MTV. We started out with just 30 minutes. So we had to, work hard to make those 30 minutes work for us each day.
Right.
So we came with dumb stuff to do like exercise day, take a break, get a burger day, all these kind of crazy stuff. So the execs upstairs were like, guys, can they lay off the food thing? And you got a big guy should get you burgers. Come on. I'm explaining that experience, that first week experience, because that was integral for us to stay on. Every week we had to outdo the next thing we did, because every week it was a threat of this is over. Each one is course. I mean, we always kept saying we had a summer job that just lasted 8 years. That's all it came down to. And what it was. So then also was my biggest drive to be on MTV because I wanted to meet downtown Julie Brown really bad. I was like, she's
really
acting and she's in England. Oh, she needs this. Oh, I gotta meet her. So the first time I really sat down and met her is when we went to our first spring break. Because we were blowing up with but they didn't know what to do with us. We really didn't know, because we weren't really VJs. We were hosts. And our title was never VJ. We were always a host. So we did spring break. The first one we did down in Daytona at the Texans. I'll never forget it. They were doing like this big crazy countdown. And they went up to Ted and said, Ted, do you think Dre would be a number? So they would paint numbers on these college kids' chests and they jump in the pool. They said, would Dre do a number? And Ted said, yeah, Dre will do number 1. That's it. He'll do number 1. So Ted went and grabbed me and said, Dre, I need you to do something. It'll be like the highlight on MTV for years. I said, what? He said, I want them to paint a 1 on your belly and you jump in the pool. Can you swim? I said, yeah, I can swim. I said, Ted, come on, man. That's just over-exploding it's exploiting the black guy. Come on, man.
Absolutely. I got
And then downtown Julie Brown came by and winked at me. I had that paint on me in a second. I was like, the 1. And then they snuck me through the crowd. They said, it's time for the number 1 video. And it's so. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the number 1 video. And I pulled up the thing, and I had to do that. Bounced off the diving board and hit the water boost. Ted said, they fell out laughing. He said, that's from the MTV Raps. He said, that was crazy. You did that. That was just nuts. But then Young T Raps became synonymous with spring break. And it kept getting bigger and bigger. So then we started doing live performers coming down. And then eventually we were on the beach, and it was crazy. And then we went to Arizona with it. So the experiences with it was like doing that. But we never conquered the ground of actually giving away an award at the Video Music Awards. And we were kind of pissed about that. We're like, we got the number 1 show on the channel. We can't give you, no VJs give away awards. So we ain't VJs, we're hosts. And we became synonymous with the show because anyone that came on our show, whether it be Pam Grier, whether it be Mel Gibson, Howard Stern, or Bobby Brown, he had the number 1 song in the country with My Prerogative, and MTV couldn't get him to come on MTV, but Ed and I saw him at a party the night before we taped it. Bobby showed up. We did a whole week of shows, and nobody knew about it with Bobby. And then when they were watching, they watched me on the record. They said, wait a minute, how the hell did he get on there? And he's doing the Ed Lover dance with Ed. Like, how did he get on there? Well, we went to hell for that. You can't book talent like that. And Ted was like, oh, yes, we can. You guys were ignoring us. So why can't you basically said, here's 60 minutes, do what you want. We don't care. Do what you want. The videos we did, everything. They didn't really care because no one had qualifications to say anything about what was going on. I mean, you got to give credit to Ted and Fab. They blew Hammer up, and they found Jennifer Lopez. How about that?
Exactly. And I like to say, mad shout out to Ted Dudley. He's no longer here. He was a great.
Well, Peter Darley's not here either, so
he isn't here either. But Ted, you left an impression on me with the movie Blow with Johnny Depp. That's all I can say. That's one of my favorite movies. And he happened to marry Amanda Shear, who was a promoter that I used to scream on all the time down in she used to give shows. And Amanda, you don't know what you're doing. Amanda Shear. And Ted worked with your guys, and Ted was a great, humble guy. And
he was.
And the movie.
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny about all that? Ted was from Rockville Center. Out here on Long Island.
That's crazy. Rockville Center. Long Island. Wow, Nassau.
Right across from Lakeview.
That's crazy.
Ted, you and I have never met. We've never seen each other. And he said, yeah, but I've been in the same circle. So he was like, Ted was
like a John Kennedy, fun type, up guy. That's how I looked at Ted.
Yeah.
And
he was pure. He loved the music for what the music was. And when the music took a turn that he didn't kind of agree with, he backed away. He backed up. He said, God, we're not doing it. This is not what we signed up to do. And it wasn't. It's just like even when NWA's video, the first video they did, was accomplished, and they came to me and they said, Dre, there's a guy named Dr. Dre out there. What do you think we should do? Should we play the video? I said, yeah, you play it. Why don't you play it? I said, so we have the same name. I said, I've known about him for years, and he's with the World Class Wrestling Club.
Yes.
I mean, that was no secret. I said, the one thing is, if he lets me be me, I let him be him. Life is good. Life is good. What's the issue? And that's how NWA got on.
Excellent. Wow, that's classic, man.
So the experience in MTV was an interesting one. Because I remember, like I said, when we first walked in, there was only 2 black people I ever saw at MTV, and both of them were emptying garbage cans or cleaning bathrooms. And when we left, we had a nice crew with Penny McDonald, Todd Brown, who did the song Down with MTV, which he and Ed Cazetti, the king of parody, came up with that. Moses Edinburgh, Jack Benson, Rahman Ali Bug, Martha Diaz. I mean, it blossomed into so many different things. And big up to Jen Denny all the time, because again, it's been 30 years since we've done this, and we're about to pull everybody together to do what they call the YOMTV.
Yes, and we're getting ready to get into that.
Center, at the Barclays Center.
We're getting into that.
And let me finish one thing. The greatest person that actually pulled that all together was our manager, Charles Stetler. If it wasn't for him, that show we're doing in the 13th of April would not just come together. He really took 2 years of putting that together, and his efforts and his running around and getting all the clearances from MTV and all the different places got us to where we are with this coming up. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Carl.
Exactly. So now the MTV thing, you've moved on. You've acted with Ed Lover. You made a couple of classic comedy movies that everybody remembers. The interview that we did a couple of weekends ago, the interview actually mentioned the fact that, he makes it a point to watch your movies. And, that stood out to me because, this guy's a younger guy. And, we come from the same generation, so we're going to know what we did in the game. For him to say, I make it a point to watch that, stood out to me. So now, let's go to where you are now, Andre. What are you doing now?
I just want to mention the movie because Ted Denny was the director of Who's the Man. With he actually wrote the story. Seth Greenland wrote the script, and Charles Stetler and Maynell Thomas were the producers on that, and that was distributed through New Line. I'm still trying to get a check. Anyway, and that's what's interesting about that movie, and I want to tap on that movie for a second, because when they talk about the movie called Straight Outta Fiction, Compton, and they say, this is what happened in the Great Rodney King riot, when Who's the Man debuted on that Friday. that debuted when the verdict came down for Robert King. So we did all this box office business on the East Coast and none on the West Coast because the West Coast was so on fire. And they were like, "Oh, Dre and them can't open a movie on the West Coast." Nobody opened a movie on the West Coast. Nobody went out. There was a riot going on. What are you talking about? We went on to do other movies like Juice with Ernest Dickerson and Tupac Shakur and Company Omar Epps and Jermaine Hopkins. We did the movie Gunman with Dennis Leary and Mario Van Peebles.
Right.
We've done all the Hustle movies that we did with Jerry Lamont, the director, and the Bahama Hustle movie with that. And we did quite a few different movies, and we were scheduled to do some movies with Universal, actually recreating a lot of the Abbott and Costello movies. But when that whole fiasco happened with Who's the Man, because what you got to remember, when Who's the Man came out, it was one of the most bootleg movies. And people don't understand what bootleg is. It was in every barbershop, salon, everywhere before it ever came out on the screen.
Right.
That was crazy. But one of my greatest pleasures about going to see Who's the Man is when I walked in the theater at Roosevelt Field and Kyle played this on around at Roosevelt Field Theater, and the whole place was packed, and I was standing in the back, and people were laughing at the jokes and the whole thing, and I was like, wow. I actually did this because I went home to see it. I said, wow, this is, I was saying to myself, this is crazy. I couldn't sit down and watch it because I was more like, this is crazy. And we had a huge premiere at the Ziegfeld Theater. So, no, we hit some barriers, and we had a great cast in there. Queen Latifah, Ice-T, Baza DeJola, Dennis Leary, Joe Lishy, Salt and Pepper, Bill. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Run DMC and Jam Master Jay. Yeah, it was a big blessing. Nelly Mel was in there with us. Yeah, we had a big blessing.
You definitely did your thing, man. And I can understand you felt. I was an extra in Ghostbusters in 1984, and I went downtown with my girl when Ghostbusters first came out, and the scene where you really see me at, a couple of cats from the Fearless Four in the audience, and they shouted out, "Yo, yes, Cool Cow!" I'm like, wow. So I know how you felt about that. You know what I'm saying? Just to be there in your home squad, your home base, and just to see how the reaction of the audience was probably meant a lot to you. And that's great, because that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
I also spent a lot of money at the Valley Stream Theaters, too. To watch it. And go from theater to theater to pay attention to it. It was one of those crazy movies that it was in a lot of multiplex theaters at the same time. Yeah. Every time I went in that premiere night, it was packed.
Right.
And people were laughing. So I mean, that feeling you get when you walk out, you go, wow, we really did do something.
Exactly. I mean, the impact in this movie, it means something. People like it. Because you never know. Until you see the stuff on screen, until you see what the audience does, you never know. You know, why
I hated watching myself on screen. The only thing I thought was cool that I did on screen is there's a sweatshirt I wore that said Newcastle Park Recreation. I did that for where I grew up because I used to DJ in the park all the time. So I had that shirt made.
You represented Westbury, Newcastle, right? Mm-hmm. And that was a great look. Okay, so Dre, now we've progressed. You've done your thing. You've been on film. You were one of the hottest hip hop comedy, and I'm going to coin the phrase hip hop comedy teams. You know, the Fat Boys did it. They did it too. But Dr. Dre and Ed Lover, you'll knock it out the box. Listen, you captured radio. I remember the ads in the subways. You know what I'm saying? You know, killing radio. Okay? And it always stands out to me because I know you from like day one. I'm like, that's my boy Dre. Yo, take his ass. You need to call me one day. Put me on the show. So that's another story. But let's check this out now. Now, we progress from all that to what are you up to right now? What's Dr. Dre up to? The original, again, I say the original Dr. Dre. What do you have for the public right now? What is Dr. Dre presenting to the world to let the world know he's still relevant, he's still valid, he is that DJ, he's still a personality? What are you doing right now, Dre?
Well, there's several things I'm doing right now, Kyle and Van. I have a program called Dr. Dre's Flesh Wound, which is on the MatrixStudios.com network. which is a late night talk show that I do, which features my podcast partner, Thomas Reed, who also is known as the Superhero Sensei TV, also known as AKA Mr. T, AKA Clubber Lang, AKA, don't forget to say his name with respect, Fool. We do a podcast called Two Blind Mics, and I debut that on the show as a part of the show. We have some great guests and music that goes along with the show. We've had Al Scratch on. We've had the great Just Ice has been on my show with that show. We've had a young lady named Panama Red on the show. Pop-up Chef Peaches. I just got an award from the Men of Excellence with Linda Coco Ford and Sean Brown. They've been on. We've also had Ralph Carter, a.k.a. Michael Evans from Good Times. That show was very enlightening and very, very inspiring for all of us. I also do a segment because of my health situation called Doctor to Doctor with my good friend Dr. Ulysses Jackson, who's a PhD, ladies and gentlemen, PhD in research with opioid abuse and heroin abuse, but he also is into holistic medicine too. So he and I have teamed up to work on actually going after and combating what's going on with me with my diabetes and my vision loss and other complications that come from diabetes and reversing those effects. So we have a company that deals with natural herbs, no fillers, no mixed with this, that can actually help the public. So we're out right now getting ready. And I was just on a call about this, that this gentleman wants to put the back segment of my show on and wants to be distributed in 192 countries. And it's a lot out there. So basically what you're seeing now, today to April 13th, you're going to see what's called the Incredible Shrinking Dr. Dre. And we're going to do it in a healthy way. I mean, I went through the whole rigmarole of going through the insurance companies and dealing with the bariatric surgery and back and forth. And something kept telling me, don't do that to yourself. That's not natural. It's not good for you. You got to do this. So I actually went after finding a different way. And I met with different holistic doctors. Big up to my friend Dr. B. And big up to Minister Inky out there who helped out. And a great woman in Canada, Toronto, Canada, Agatha Mason, also helped. She helped me get with this other holistic company that helps try to reverse the effects of my blindness. And those are all the great people along the way, because I became real close with Dick Gregory before he passed. And honestly, I credit him for saving my life, because he's the one who introduced me to Dr. B, who put me on a healthy plan to change what I'm doing. So it's a process, a lot of things to do with weight loss, a lot of things to do with reversing the effects of the poisons that have been introduced to our bodies that we're all addicted to. There's a process to reverse it. And I'm here to show and explain and give away that information so that we can actually go and help the world. That's the whole goal with what we're doing. We want to help the world. We don't want to it's not just a thing we want to hold to ourselves, but everything is very easy to do some of the things to get the process started. And that's what I'm here to do. And I'm very proud of that. I got 4 kids in school, and I'm proud of that. And my daughter's on the dean's list, and my other son is a multiple musician. He's going to school to learn how to engineer and perfect his craft and become a better musician. Another son, he's a studio musician at home, and he does his music, and he puts up on Spotify. And my other son, he just runs track. It's the way it works. So, blessed. And I'm looking forward to this chapter of what I'm doing, because it's like I feel the energy like I had when I went to BAU. I'm like, I can do anything I need to do. And I want to do. I'm like, I'm really excited by this. This is kind of like, whoa, where'd this come from? And I'm like, wow. Because I remember a couple of years back when I was laying what I would call on my deathbed, and I thought it was all over. And I had a chance to talk to God. I listened to what Steve said. He said, when in doubt, have a talk with God. And I said, God, thank you for giving me today, and thank you for giving me the days I've had. I really appreciate this. I said, but I'm ready to come. I'm ready. It's my time to come. And I was really, really, really sick. I was really out. And as I sat there and I laid there, and your mind goes and wanders. And I'm going to say the voice of God did come to me. He said, what are you doing? He says, well, I'm ready. I'm ready to go with you. You know, I can't take this pain anymore. He said, I ain't telling you you're coming here. He said, you got too much to do. Go back down there and do what I'm going to tell you to do. I said, what? He said, go down there. I need you to lead these people. I said, how am I going to lead them? He said, I'll tell you what to say. I'll show you what to do. And you do it. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. And after that epiphany for me, and when I got up off the couch and off the bed and, you know, I purged myself of a lot of stuff and I started feeling better, everything started changing because my mind was ready to go where I needed to go with this. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed more than most people know. Most people say, oh, man, I feel so upset about what's going on. I said, no. What I see now, I see things so much clearer than I used to see with my eyes.
Gotcha.
Not that I don't want my eyesight back. Oh, yes, I do, because I love to look in the eyes of my daughter and my son.
Of course.
And be able to hug and kiss them and go, wow, look at this. But I also understand that it's more between my ears. And how can I be helpful? Because I sometimes, every time you say, oh, you're in such a bad shape, I always see somebody in a worse shape. I mean, I always think about those 12 people that passed away in that Bronx fire this past couple of weeks.
Yes, sir.
And I go, my God, what are they going to do? I think about the people that were in Los Angeles, and they were going through that whole fire that was the greatest fire ever recorded in California history.
Right.
Wildfires. And I go, wow.
Right.
I go to look at what we're getting ready to go through with a snowstorm, and I go, wow, God's really good, because God's blessing us and saying, appreciate what's here. Understand what you have. So, again, I'm feeling, honestly, like I'm at BAU again, and I first walk through the door, and I got the sweater vest on and the tie, and I'm saying, yo, we about to make this happen. This is going to be good. Let's have some fun with it. And that's why, like I said, when Kyle called me and Van spoke to me, I said, I got it. Yo, whatever you guys need. I mean, I need your help, because there's so much I'm going to do. I have documentary things that are being set up. Yeah, we're all writing a book. And yes, we are. We've been offered to do a movie situation along with it. And the thing is, someone asked me, the guy who come to me about the movie thing, he said, how are we going to tell your story? You got so many stories. Which one do we pick from? And I said, let me think about it and I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
So that's really where we are. That's what I've been doing, and boy, my feet are tired. I'm not finished at all. I'm not finished at all yet.
And that's a pleasure to hear, because me being someone who knew you from like day 1.0, our paths separated, but the fact that God, and I'm a supreme believer in God, and we really don't get on the spiritual tip on our show, but I am a supreme believer in God. God brought someone to me who told me, well, Kyle, I need you. And that was the thing that we did together. But I did my thing before I brought it to you. And he said, well, can you talk to Andre? Dr. Dre. And I said, well, I haven't talked to Dre in mad years, but I made it my business to reach out to you. So I went through the process. And Kyle does not do that. I really don't. Me and Van Silk, listen, cats come to us all day, every day. Mm-hmm. And you know what? And I realized my value in hip-hop history and what I try to bring to the table. And I knew that you were a special guy. And it was my business to make this happen for you. Now, what happens from it, whatever, Dre, you know how we do. If it becomes something, it does. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to be around you. Now I know where you live. You're back, where you are. I have your number. We can vibe.
We have a lot more to do. And I told Van this today when I spoke to him. I said, when everyone was reaching out and saying, Kyle's looking for Kool. Kyle, I'm like, Kyle, oh, wait a minute, hold on. And I had my production coordinator, Heidi, give Kyle a call. So I want to make sure it was the right person, because some people throw names around and it's not them. Because I've gotten on a bunch of those kind of calls too, so I have Heidi kind of filter it. And she said, oh, no, this is him. He said, I said, oh, okay, I know who he is. Okay, get him on the phone. And Kyle and I, we went off and we talked for an hour and a half. And I was like, Kyle, take my number. Let's do this. Send him everything. Bang. And the same thing with Van. When Van hit me up on Facebook, I was like, is this the same Van Took or is this somebody trying to play Van Took? Let me check. So Heidi called Van. And I called Van at night. I said, if this is Van Took, he's going to be out. So I called him. And then we went on for 3 hours. We just went straight for 3 hours. I was like, man, we got to send this conversation tomorrow. Because I already blew out 2 of the calls also, but I was so happy and blessed and felt, wow. Van was reaching out to me, and then when I saw that you guys were doing this, I said, of course, whatever we need to do. And sometimes that's what God finds a way to say,
that's exactly what I was just trying to say, man.
He gives you he says, here's a seed, put this back in the ground. It's okay. Right. You may not think this tree is going to be what it is, but let me do my thing. And this is what God told me. He said, let me play God, you play Dre, and it'll work out. And that's what I've been doing. And all of a sudden, it's working out.
And the great thing about all this is, when I did my first pay-per-view special with Academia, and I had to fight, I had to go to Don King and other people, and the great late Eddie Singleton, not only, but Eddie Singleton and Paul Shipman to get the money to do this big TV event in 1990 where a lot of people didn't have cable and all these acts and MTV saying it ain't going to happen, you can't do it. And Carol Lewis saying there's no way you can get all 60 acts. I was a pleasure to have you and Ed Lover as my host on the East Coast and Apollo as well. And I had Sapphire Freddy, and on the East Coast I had Goose, Connie Lister, Eileen Tower, and Debbie Allen. That was something historic, which to this day I felt people never acknowledged that show. It's never been duplicated. And to go on and say, there's a lot of things that could have happened, Dre. We could have did a lot of work. All of us could have done a lot of work together over the years. But it's been key people separating people for their own gain. And now everything's coming to fruition. The wheels have went around. Oh, yeah. So we're now, like, this family of hip-hop, the first generation, it belongs to me and Kool. Okay? There you go. We deal with everybody. We deal with everybody. We had a few mishaps, but we deal with everybody. We give people work. Just like for February 11th at the new museum, we have Kool and Shantae teaching a class. Roxanne and Shantae teaching a class on freestyle and lyrics. I just had Grant with the Theodore at Fairlane Dickinson, Kevin Rockwell. We do our thing every March up in Connecticut with our boy Kingsley, and you're coming up this year. You're coming up this year to finally meet the original Clark Kent from the Herculoids, and for those who you never met. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the Sugar Hill Gang is going to be there. Leland Robinson and his daughter and son, and the original Cinderella, and Mr. Waves, and Debbie D, and Mark Collins from the Collins Brothers, and Red Alert, Grant with the Theodore. And I'm leaving one peso from the Fearless Four. We're getting a proclamation from the mayor and Senator Blumenthal. This is what we do. This is what we do. Bring it together. Absolutely.
Well, like I said, sometimes you don't know where you're supposed to lie. Like 30 years ago, that may not have been the right place to do what we needed to do. So now we've had the seasoning. Now the meal is ready, and it's time for us to sit at the table and dine and say, what are we here to do next? And that's what I say. I don't ever go into doing what I'm doing and say, oh, I just know. I say, no, this is what I desire to do, but I need your help. I'm a cog that's going to make the other pieces go along with it. And that's why my career and my history has been the way it is, because I've always thought that way, because I never said that we could do this solo. It just doesn't work that way. It never works that way.
Just last August, when the 4 people who actually got Hip Hop Boulevard named, and for some reason Hot 97 ended up doing some fake ceremony on Cedric Avenue and giving Dougie Fresh and Fat Joe and Larry Martin a proclamation. Nothing against them because they probably don't know the details. Me, Curtis Blow, and Kool got together on August 12th and not only made sure that the Hip Hop Boulevard 5 got the proclamation, we also gave proclamations to some of our brothers who are no longer here. We gave out 18 or 15 that day. To Mr. Magic, to Donald B, from the Sapphire Crew, to Hank, I did that Hank, Mr. King Mario, Scott LaRock, Cowboys, Dada Rock, the Boogie Boys, Gal the Crash School. And the family members were there to get it. Even Wiz Kid, mother hit me up on Facebook and said, my son has never gotten anything. And I
play that beat. Play that beat.
Yeah.
You want to play it for me, Mr. DJ?
And I said, that's
my dog. Global Wiz Kid. I love that song.
That's what we do. And I'm sitting here right now.
Hold on, Ben.
Now, I'm still sitting here looking at Kool DJ AJ's proclamation, which his daughter was supposed to get, and Curtis Blow did call her to come and get it. But the problem is, we cannot look at the commercialized entity to acknowledge us. Once you're in and you're out, you're out. So we got to go back to where we was before they even got in the game. We have to acknowledge ourselves.
That tells me a funny story real quick, Dan. Let me hit you with this. Like I said, there's a very famous picture which has been on a lot of different shows about with me wearing a Westbury jersey with Run DMC. Very famous. Kyle, I think I said that to you also.
Yeah, I've seen the picture.
Yeah, I went to my town, the district of Westbury, and I showed them that picture and I said, don't you think it'd be a good idea if we put this picture up somewhere in the school? And the superintendent looked at me and said, well, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean, what do I mean? Do you see who's in this picture? He said, wow, you're wearing a Westbury jersey. That's really interesting. I said, do you know who's standing around? I said, yeah, that's Run DMC in Germany. I said, yes. I said, don't you think we should put that in this school somewhere so kids, or at least in the music room, so they can go, wow, who's that? And you put the name with the plaque and let people know, wow, these people came from here. Just like Tom Hopper, who was in all the Dirty Harry movies with Clint Eastwood. He was the guy who, when Clint Eastwood pulled out the gun and said, I can't remember if I shot 5 or 6 with all this excitement. You want to make my day? You want to jump? Punk. I'm Papa from Westbury. There's a lot of folks from around here. If you don't start letting people know what's going on, and I'd spoken to a representative here recently, I said, I got an award. I get awards from different people all over the country. But when I come home to my town in my area, I can't get a sandwich. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's kind of crazy. But yet I represented you, and it's repeated. Who's the man? That photo. Everywhere I went. I used to get paraded while I did here with New York because I always represented Westbury and Newcastle. I call it Westbury, Newcastle, Westbury. And they were like, oh, that ain't the bro, that ain't this. I said, dude, let me tell you something. What we did out there is as strong as what you did in here. I said, think about it. I don't want to run down the list. I'll just say BAU. I'll start there. I don't go to EPMD. I don't want to go to Rakim. I don't want to go to Bismarck. I don't want to go to all these other names. These are the new school: Busta Rhymes, Charlie Brown, Dinko D. I don't want to start running it down. Come on. It's like the only way you get respect from stuff is if you demand it. And what's interesting is that the great Bill Adler, he was trying to get Ed, myself, and Fab Five Freddy inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the irony of it was, they were all like, yo, that's a really good idea. We should do this. We should do this. We should do this. Guess who opposed us?
Who?
A gentleman who's on a late night talk show. Wow. He said, why should we give them the credit and we haven't given Don Cornelius the credit? And I sat back when I heard that. I said, really? I said, I remember your little rink-dinky group, which I like your group. I like your group. I don't have anything against your group because you stood up and took this position against myself, Ed, and Fab. We're the ones who made you who you were. You didn't sell records. You wore your own TV raps. But it's so easy that you can slap your hand back at it because you've forgotten where you came from. But like I said, it's funny how things come full circle.
Wait, hold on.
DJ 360 would say.
Somebody from the Root said that?
I'm not going to say a name, but yes, it did go down like that. And I had to confirm it. I had to confirm it.
You know what's so sad about this whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to put Run DMC in first, and DMC told them no. I'm not with that. Mm-hmm. Grandmaster Flash and the 3-5 is before us. They should be in there first. And see, there's a lot of things that go on from the political side of this, and that's why I'm stepping my game up, because LL got denied again. Okay? But here's the problem. This is my problem. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is based on the songs, 25 years of the songs you made or your accolades. Okay. Love LL. But if you were to tell me what songs LL has made that made a world impact, he has none.
Oh, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Hold on.
LL Cool J has a huge recording impact. Let's not.
No.
I don't want to pick worldwide. Worldwide. LL I've been on tour with him.
Let me finish saying what I'm saying. Not to say that he don't deserve to be in there, but you still got two other acts that have had a world impact, not only in one language, but in other languages. You still got Curtis Blow Basketball, and you still got the Hill Gang. They are still bigger worldwide and globally. Rapper's Delight never dies. Neither does Apache. Jump on it. It's played in every NBA arena. I just seen a video of Curtis last year in different countries, and they knew basketball.
Curtis Blow made Christmas rapping. Curtis Blow made Christmas rapping, which, whether you believe it or not, Christmas rapping and the breaks were the two biggest songs from 1979 to 1981. Because when we played the breaks in the summertime, the place went nuts. I had always been a huge Curtis Blow fan. Curtis Blow, I Ruled the World. I mean, the list goes on. Curtis Blow, the producer of the Fat Boys. Curtis Blow. We can go on and on and on and on.
If I tell him the board of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he would only get voted in because of basketball. Because that song not only transcended the world, it transcended the NBA.
True. And I mean, actually made a second version with Power, which had no impact compared to Curtis Blow. It was Curtis Blow. That's what it is.
Now, when I look at Rapper's Delight, how can any record impact that? They're not even being acknowledged. When I looked at NWA being put in, was this a political move because of a movie? When I looked at Tupac, was this a political move because he's dead? I mean, like, when somebody said to me, well, you know, Boogie Down Production should be next, and on what record? Okay, LL should be in there, but not right now. He's not ready now because you still got two people ahead of you. You have more records because of the different time era. Whose records have made a global impact in other languages, in other universe of this world.
I can agree with you with that. I can agree with that. When you say Curtis Blow and Sugar Gang, I can agree. I can totally agree. But my point was, when we do get opportunities and we're sitting at the table, how come you could easily dismiss those that gave you a hand up? That's why when people say, Dre, you're bitter against Straight Outta Compton, I go, no, I'm not. I just call it Straight Outta Fiction. Because the difference between anybody else, I was there. I was on the stage in Detroit when the cops threw the M80s on the stage and they ran off after doing Fuck the Police. And they were told not to do it because we were sitting there filming Yo MTV Rap.
Now, when
it's funny, like when you dismiss that, like that didn't happen. It's funny.
Well, Drake, when I asked why is the Beastie Boys there, like, please tell me. Like,
well, the Beastie Boys are there for License to Ill. You cannot deny that. They're there for License to Ill, and they also sold one album. Paul's Boutique. Check Your Head. No, Hello Nasty. No. Those are worldwide. Dude, those are worldwide hit albums, man. Just like what happened.
Eminem's going to get in there before everybody else. But that's going to be the case.
But that's a political move. We all know. But see, you know what we got to do?
Exactly. It's a political.
We got to do. The only way to change that is to get on those committees and vote and bring those things up and post the argument up. Because as you just said, back in the day we couldn't get with this because it was this person blocking us, that person blocking us. Us having this conversation. Hold on. Let's go. This conversation now. We can create the demand to make it go. We can create demand.
To be honest with you, they want to hold us under 25 years. And I had to look at License to Ill and Tone Loc, Wild Thing. Tone Loc is getting in. Okay? Because it's a bigger record. I just witnessed it the other night here. Him and Rob Bates and Freedom Williams and Salt and Pepper. And these kids in the audience ain't a bit but 25. And new Tone Loc song.
Yep. Because Tone Loc song is universal. It's a universal.
And that's what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is based on, yo. That's what it's based on.
So guess what we got to do? Again, we don't have to sit back and say, oh, we got to take that from them to set up a political campaign and say, hey, why isn't this here? Why isn't that there? Why not? Why not? Rather than sit back and we get angry and people consider us being bitter, we go, no, if you're going to tell the truth, let's tell the truth. And that's what my documentary is all about. The truth of rap and hip hop.
Now, for you, Fab Five Freddy and Dre and Ed to be in there, yes, because this is part of a genre of hip hop that was an opener, and so Ralph McDaniel should also be included somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I believe so. And I believe so because what Ralph did was what we couldn't put on immediately. Ralph had the ability to do it. And then they gave us the leverage to walk back up in the building and say, no, this is working. We want this on. Because you know how it goes once you start, when they start to put their hands in the pot, they then have those, we need the research. They come with all the key phrases. You don't know, we do the research. You don't go to any parties. You're not at the gigs. You don't know who's doing what. You don't know who anybody really is.
Right.
We're telling you what it is. They pick their favorites by what they like and what they see. We pick our favorites on what we know moves the crowd.
If they was real and understood hip hop, but you have certain people that want to protect their legacy, Mr. Magic should have been inducted.
Yes, I agree.
Mr. Magic.
As a broadcaster, yes. He comes from the radio broadcasting point of view. The reason I was going with Yo MTV Raps because of what the magnitude and the worldwide impact of that show. It also was the actually the colorization of MTV. That's what that show got. Exactly. Michael Jackson may have broken the ground with Billie Jean, but damn if we didn't bring the rest of the crew through. I mean, that's just a fact.
That's my whole point of everything that I'm saying.
But we got to set up a campaign. Like it goes with anything else, man. You know how it works. You got to campaign for it. You got to push it. You got to make everything known. You got to make it understood. It's the only way that's the only way to make it happen. Or it's not going to ever happen.
Yeah, I'm looking at artists like The Spinners and those who put in time. Real music that still ain't in there yet.
Yeah. But
they got Khan is not even in there. It's like The Spinners is not even in there. Like, really? And no disrespect to nobody. When NWA came up, with Tupac, I'm like, nah, come on. Now it's becoming about somebody doing something. Because no way in the world, from an artist standpoint, that Curtis Blow and the Sugar Hill Gang shit had not been mentioned. Because their record not only is big in the universe of the United States, it's big in the universe of culture countries.
Mm-hmm. It's equivalent to Elvis Presley doing blue suede shoes and creating the phenomenon where they had to delve in the king of rock and roll when the true kings of rock and roll were Chuck Berry and Little Richard. That's who the true kings of rock and roll were. In fact, Domino and all these other blues people, Hank Ballard, and you go. These are people that they have to put them in because they said, "Wait a minute, without this, there is no rock and roll." It was Chuck Berry who coined the phrase rock and roll. Wait a minute, Little Richard, he's really people imitated him because honestly, I call Little Richard an MC because long tall story, she built a speech. He got boom, everything that Uncle John needs. Oh baby, that's a rap lyric, dude. This is done differently, and he's pounding the keyboard like he's playing a drum machine. Have me some fun tonight. How many countless movies and TV shows of all these songs and played over and over.
You know what's so funny?
Even Back to the Future tried to make it seem like Marty McFly gave Chuck Berry the idea to do what's his name? Oh, I can't think of the name of the song now.
The Duck Walk and all that.
But no, not just the Duck Walk, but the song. Johnny B. Good. Johnny B. Good.
Hold on a second. I made a post 2 months ago about how these guys' version of what they did is basically what we're doing, but we gave it a name. And I posted Little Richard's song and didn't really get no response because you know what it is? Ego.
Because they don't know. They do not know. It's not discussed like that. And that's the thing is, I had a beautiful opportunity one year when we were out in LA going to the Video Music Awards, and I sat with Little Richard for about 2.5 hours. I sat with him because he used to live in the Hyatt Hotel on Sunset Boulevard.
On the penthouse. And I had the liberty doing the show with Little Richard. And
I sat and talked to him.
Right.
And after looking at him, I could never laugh at him again. I was like, no, this dude is amazing.
Wait, let me I told you this like I didn't tell Cal. When me and Don King's son Eric Kane and Gary Bridgman did Little Richard at the Mark Ellis Arena in Trump Plaza, we went out to L.A. on Sunset Boulevard in the white hotel where he lived at in the penthouse. We sat there for 3 hours. Little Richard said, I don't sign contracts. He signed the ARA, which stands for Richard. And he went into another part of the penthouse and left us out there for 3 hours and came back and signed the contract. And the funny thing about it is when we did the show, Mary Mel got on stage with him. I wish I had the videotape and Kool from Kool and the Gang was playing the bass guitar. And the whole thing was about Richard Pendleton and what he went through in his life with the Allen Freed and being ripped off and being religious and being gay and all this stuff. Now he's in a wheelchair. He lives in Tennessee. And the whole thing comes down to they never gave him and these guys their accolades of being the king of rock and roll. They gave it to people that duplicated their songs.
And that's why when he used to go on the award shows, he used to scream out, "No, I'm the real king of rock and roll." And I used to continue. Nobody understood that. I said, "But I got it. I was like, wait a minute. That's the person we need to be. Whoa." He's like, it's like, but when you talk to him and he tells you these stories of what happened, and there's another movie called Let the Good Times Roll, but it's with Curtis Mayfield, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, I forgot who the fourth person is. And then this room talking, and they talk about how Chuck Berry talks about how he doesn't take checks. When he walks, he drives his own stuff to his own gig, and he wants to be paid in cash when he walks in the door. You don't have his cash, he gets back in his car and he drives away. There's no cell phone. He doesn't check. Exactly. That's it. You don't want to hear that. He said they've been through so much in those histories, and it's funny how when you listen to their stories, they match the stories that we've been through. So that's what I said. For us to make those grand changes, we got to do it, man. That's why we're doing this together. That's why we're talking right now.
And you know what's so funny? If anybody knew anything about music, and you can listen to Elvis all you want, but there was a black guy named Roy Hamilton signed on RCA's black label. Elvis took his whole style and sung all of Roy Hamilton's songs.
But it wasn't Elvis that Colonel Tom Parker did that. Elvis would praise black players. I mean, somebody always had the comment that, all the black person can do for me is shine my shoes and buy my record. That was said as an off-color comment. But he, along with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, always praised all the black artists that they actually borrowed the music from. The Beatles were the first ones that, oh no. Even Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones said, no. When James Brown killed those on the stage, I will never do nothing stupid like that again.
But you know what's open for me about our music? We listen to Twist and Shout. They always talk about the Beatles, but that song is Ronald Isley. Yeah, it's Ronald Isley and the Isley Brothers, but it was only 3 of them in 1958. That's their song.
But remember, now that's starting to come out. Like when you watch the movie Animal House and you hear Shout, and it's what's her name singing it, when he's singing the Isley Brother version. So remember, the Beatles version is always going to be pumped up But the Beatles did that because they loved that song so much.
Of course.
So when they redid it, of course it's going to be embraced like the Beatles did it first. But now, because of technology, because of the libraries being released and the songs being played in the CDs and the streaming, you can sit there and go, wait a minute, this was the Ozzy Brothers. And this version is cool too. They're like, this is the version. So it's funny how everything cycles around and around. Because remember, it was, I can't think of the guy's name. His name is Pat something, who did Tutti Frutti over. Pat Boone. And he didn't even know what he was singing. He was singing Tutti Frutti, and it was Little Richard's song. And they're like, dude, how do you just take Little Richard's song and do that to that? When you listen to Great Balls of Fire, that's Little Richard. But it's Jerry Lee Lewis who wrote the song and is imitating Little Richard. Even he says it in their movies, they say this. We see them perform and we're amazed at what they can do. Sammy Davis. Why did Frank Sinatra embrace Sammy Davis? Because he was a fan of his talent. He's like, this guy's incredible. I mean, I can sing, but I can't dance, sing, jump, act, do. Dude, and he's got one eye. How the hell that happen? That's
all I got to say right now, we on our 2 hours. Dre, I don't like to cut you off.
You cut me off? Cut me off, we can come back. Cut me off, we can come back.
You know what? We have another show that we do called Hip Hop and You Don't Stop. And our producer will be getting something to eat. And we want to bring you on that show, which is on a Friday next week, if you are available.
We'll work that out. We'll see what I can do for that.
We'll work it out. But I just like to let everybody know, for the last 2 hours, you've been on with Kool, Dr. Dre from your MTV Rap. He's a man, an innovator, a pioneer, original concept.
A fan, a big fan, a fan of all of y'all, because, like I said, without Kool, there is no original concept, not like that.
Wow.
I can't.
Thank you, Andre.
And it goes back to Van Til said, we got to put the campaign for Curtis to go in the Hall of Fame. The Sugar Hill Gang is going in the Hall of Fame. And we got to do it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because the Hip Hop or Rap Hall of Fame, that's obvious. We're supposed to be there. But that lets you know that this music,
they got a lot of work to do with all that. But I just want to say, because it's 10:02, and you was listening to When It Was Hip Hop, John Doe Network, to our girl Tanya, and to our boy DJ Mike Styles. Yo, this is Van Silk, Kool,
DJ 360. Yes, sir.
And DJ 360 is here for the last hour. And yo, we enjoyed the 2 hours with Dr. Dre. And we're gonna take this conversation on next Friday if he's available, to our other show, Hip Hop and You Don't Stop. So we keep it real like that. We got 2 shows that we do. We do this every Wednesday, and we do one once a month. Our boy Bruce George, Genius is Common, and all that stuff. We keep it in the family. But we gotta definitely sign off. Really gotta sign off right now, so we pass our limit before we get cut off. And you guys want to say anything before we break out?
Thank you. I'll see you next go round. Dr. Dre.
Hey, yo, Andre, thank you very much, baby. It's Kool, original Star Child. My man Van Silk, Dr. Dre. Good looking out, baby. Thank you for being on our show. We look forward to talking to you again. Hip Hop, you don't stop.
Where was Hip Hop? Life and Lifestyle. First show 2018. That's it. We out, y'all.
There you go. Life and Lifestyle.
Peace.